Hey, beautiful day to you. My name is RG Sayson. I am a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ, and you're tuned into Above All, where we discuss things about life, faith, and everything in between. If you have any suggestion, any topic you'd like us to discuss in a future episode, then why don't you just comment down below and we'll consider it. Our topic for today is I hate church because there's too many rules. Are you one of those people who don't want to have anything to do with church at all because you think there's too many? You have to do this, you cannot do that, this is what you need to do, you don't do this, do that, do this, do that. Is that why you hate church? Are you a member of a church and you just don't like some of the rules? You don't like following some of the rules? Huh? Tell us about it. I've been in a member of a church or churches. I've seen churches, and here are some of the rules I've encountered. Ladies, you have to wear a skirt or a dress when you come to church. In fact, maybe not just when you come to church. In some churches, they encourage their women members to always, dress modestly. It should also apply to the men. Dress modestly. Even if you wear a skirt or a dress, you can be wearing that dress immodestly. There are certain dresses or skirts that are too tight-fitting, and I don't think that's what the pastor means when he says wear a skirt, wear a dress. Ladies, keep your hair long. You've heard of that, right? There are churches where ladies are encouraged to wear their hair long. In some sects, we know they do not even have their hair touched by scissors. Never. So it grows all the way down long. Men, keep your hair short. Keep them neat and trim and tidy. Always go and visit your barber every couple of weeks or so. Teens, don't watch movies in the cinema, or any other member, don't watch movies in the cinema. Members should not be seen in the cinema because cinemas are dark and certain kinds of things happen in the cinema. Don't drink alcohol, don't smoke, don't do drugs, of course. Don't do this. Don't be in a relationship until you're 25 years old or until your pastor tells you it's okay. Invite your pastor first when it's your birthday, etc., etc., etc. Tell us about your favorite, your pet peeve rule in the church. There's nothing wrong with most of those rules. They're meant to help you. They're meant to keep order in the church. In fact, I believe that rules are made for rule breakers. And if you're not a rule breaker, you should not even worry about the rules. But why do so many people struggle to keep up with following the rules? And why do many pastors get severe headaches, when their members don't follow the rules in the church? If you belong in the church where the rules are emphasized more than loving God, I'll tell you what, maybe you're not in a Christian church. Maybe you're in a synagogue where the members and the leaders are all Pharisees. You know what the Lord Jesus Christ says in Luke chapter 11 verses 39 to 42? And the Lord said unto him, Now ye, Pharisees, make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness. Ye fools, did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also? But rather give alms of such things as you have, and behold, all things are clean unto you. But woe unto you, Pharisees, for you tithe mint and rue and all manner of herbs, and pass over judgment and the love of God. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. What is the Lord saying? Yes, it's good to follow rules. But if you follow rules for the sake of following rules, then you must be a fool. You're crazy. Or sometimes we just follow rules to keep up appearances. I remember this mayor. This mayor, he was accused of raping a college girl and killing her and her boyfriend. This was many years back. Some of you may remember this. And I remember this image of him, walking down on his knees, and with this big Virgin Mary, Mama Mary icon in his house. Anybody can appear to look good. It's easy to follow and make people think you're good. You're kind, you're giving, you're generous, you're courteous. But if it's not coming from the heart, you've got a problem. If you're in a church where you get kicked out for not following the rules, then maybe that church is not of Christ. Maybe you're in an organization, not in a church family. Why am I saying this? In your family, have you ever kicked out the mother for not washing the dishes or doing the laundry? In your family, have you kicked out a child, throw the child out into the streets because the child does not want to eat the food that you're serving on the table? Or kick out the dad for not bringing home the bacon? No, you don't do that. Why? Your family. It's just so sad that in some churches, they call each other church family. In fact, on Sundays, many of us, we say, welcome to our weekly Sunday church family reunion. And yet, some people, some members in the church hate each other. Some members in the church talk behind each other's back. Is that a church family? When someone in the church, you're not seeing that person anymore for 3 weeks or more, what do? You spread rumors about the person? Do you say, leave that person alone, he was not that good anyway? Nobody likes that person anyway. You know what? Remember this. When one sheep went away and was lost, the shepherd looked for that one sheep. Left the 99 sheep to look for that one sheep. When someone in your church is not doing well, backsliding, so to speak, what do? Why don't you approach that person? Treat that person as family and ask that person, how are you doing, brother? How are you doing, sister? Is there anything wrong? Is there anything I can do to help? And most probably, that person has a problem. She cannot even tell you, she cannot even ask for a prayer request because for some reason she wants to keep it to herself. But if someone will reach out to that person, you'll never know. If you're the one who will reach out to that person, and how much help just by reaching out you'll be able to do to that person. You know what the Lord said in John chapter 13 verses 34 and 35? A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. The Lord did not say you are my disciples if you follow the rules. The Lord did not say you are my disciples if you're never late for church. You are my disciples if you follow blindly what the pastor says. No, the Lord is saying, other people will know you are Christians, you are my followers, you are my flock, if they see you loving one another. If the leaders in your church are more concerned about you following the rules than you maturing in the faith, beware. Think about talking to the leader, to the pastor, to the preacher, whoever's in charge. Talk to that person and ask him, why is it this way in the church? We are supposed to be family. Otherwise, you gotta get out of that church. You gotta get out of that church where following the rules takes precedence over loving one another. Look for another church where the pastor or minister and members sincerely care about you, about one another. If you feel pressured to follow rules and you're struggling with following rules in the church, may I suggest this one thing. Try love. Try love. Romans chapter 13 verses 8 to 10 says, "Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet, and if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law." Love is the fulfilling of the law. Again, in Matthew chapter 22 verses 35 to 40, there was a lawyer. You know, these lawyers, they like laws. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, "Master, which is the great commandment in the law?" Jesus said unto him, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two hang all the law and the prophets." On these two hang all the law and the prophets. Number one, love the Lord your God. Number two, love other people. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. By loving God and other people, you're fulfilling all the law. It does not matter if you're the winner in every Bible trivia quiz or contest in your church. It does not matter if you're the best in Bible doctrine. It does not even matter if you're the pastor or the preacher. If you do not have love, if you do not show love, or worse, if you sow hate rather than love, I doubt you're a follower of Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 1 to 3 says, "Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Just as I am nothing without God, without charity, everything I do amounts to nothing. Without love, I am nothing. Without love, I am nothing." I'm not saying don't follow the rules in your church. What I'm saying is this: follow the rules because you love God. Follow the rules because you love your brethren. Follow the rules when you know it will glorify God. If you follow the first and greatest commandment to love God, everything will follow. You will never have to worry about rules any longer. You will never have to worry about following rules in the church because you will naturally do what you ought to do if you love God and if you love your neighbor. With love as the motive, it will be easier to obey all these rules anyway. Just ask any husband. And if you're a pastor or church leader and you're wondering why people are not coming to church as early as you would like, people are not giving enough offerings or tithes, young people are deliberately disobeying the rules, maybe it's time to shift the focus to teaching the church how to love God, showing the church how to love one another. It's not enough to teach anyway. It's better to show. Do it. How to love the people outside the church, and even love our enemies. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, in verse 13. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity. Thank you for watching. This is RG, reminding everyone to subscribe to this channel, comment down below, like this video, share it too. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Colossians 3:14. May God shower you with His love so that you will never run out of love. Keep safe, and by God's grace, see you next time.